Welcome once again to our Thursday conversation. I hope this week has served all y'all well. Today we have, as always, Jazzy Moto,
Hello.
Mega Elixir,
How's it going, beautiful people?
OG Double M,
Good evening, everybody.
myself, Sir Rich. May the fourth be with you.
You took my line.
That's everybody lying. And, and we have the one, which I stole his line.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. And in your leisure, while you're watching, please like and subscribe. Um, just want to get into it real quick to see what everyone's been playing this week, what you've been doing. So let's start off with Mega. What have you been playing, Mega? Let's see.
Well, let's see here. I'm actually I'm only played on the Switch this week. My friend, I got back into playing Super Smash Bros.
Oh, nice.
Haven't touched that game in months. But yeah, I played that with my friends, and I've also played Splatoon 3, and
Splatoon 3 is like a Call of Duty.
it's a third-person shooter.
Yeah.
Is that Squid Game? It's all colorful.
Yeah, it's that Squid Game.
Okay. No, I'm sorry. I just had gameplay playing in my head. I was like, is that it?
No, it's fine.
Squid people, the squiddies. Is that what they call? What do the squid people call?
They're called Inklings.
Inklings, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Why did I
Aw.
say the squiddies?
And the last game I played on the Switch Online, I played a Super Nintendo game. And I played it with a friend because we was trying to beat it. It's Donkey Kong Country 2.
Oh, nice. That's a classic.
Yeah, definitely a classic.
Okay.
And yeah, that's it.
All right. Well, let's check with OG. What have you been playing, OG? I know one game we all played outside of Mech, but what have you played, OG?
A little bit of the Star Wars. I got motivated. Sir Rich
Which
motivated
one?
me to
Which
get
one?
back on. Let me finish.
Give him time to say his
Excited.
piece.
Oh, there's more than
The
one now.
order. Star Wars: The Fallen Order. I'm trying to finish that so I can get to the second game. And Redfall.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about RedFall later. Okay.
He said, hold on. We gotta talk about Redfall. Hold on.
No, I know he
Hold that.
played it, but we're all gonna hold our thought for that.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. That's why I
Yeah.
decided. He was like, hold that thought. Hold on.
What about you, Sir Rich? What have you played?
I got back into my Hearthstone. I've been playing that. I played Redfall.
Is Hearthstone like a card game?
It's exactly a card game.
Yep.
Yeah. And I was playing Redfall. I tried that out. And of course, I was definitely on that Star Wars. I'm liking it again.
I think the mechanics are better this go around.
Yeah, it's more fluid. It's definitely more fluid.
Okay. Anything else?
Not that I recall. There's probably some other random games in there I was playing here and there, but nothing that really sticks out. Oh, I was playing that Avengers. That's what it was. Yeah. Since they unlocked everything for free. And the coworker at work has been playing and talking about it. And I just started playing it.
Is that coworker, is that name that y'all had a discussion about, that we had a discussion about, and I said, oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't want you to say somebody's name.
Mm-hmm. I got you.
Okay. What about you, Lady Jane?
I have been playing Redfall, of course, but we'll get to that later. Vampire Survivors PC Resident Evil 4 remake. Like 5 minutes. Wasn't that much. Got a headache.
So you
But-
took a peek, huh?
Yeah, I took a quick peek. I said, nope. We'll continue this later. I think that's about it. Yep.
So let me start off like the rest of you. I played RedFall. I played Jedi Survivor. And I always play Call of Duty. I played Ghostwire Tokyo, which I could have beat the game because I'm on the last chapter. But I'm strategically, y'all gonna roll out this. I don't want to beat it till tomorrow because I get my 50 points. So I'm only beating certain games to get my 50 points of Microsoft. I played Escape Academy. I played Resident Evil for a hot second. I played Metal Hell Singer, and I played Madden. I think those are all the games I played, which is a nice amount of games. Oh, I did try Siege. I ain't like it, so I said that's enough for me.
Did you try Ravenlock yet?
No, I'm gonna try that tomorrow.
Yeah, that looks
And like,
interesting. I'm gonna check that out.
yeah, I don't want to keep trying games and get inundated and then don't finish the game.
That's the
And
main reason why I didn't buy Dead Island.
Yeah, so I'm exactly. I'm going. I don't even have Hogwarts yet, so I'm gonna wait till that go on sale. But I will finish
Ooh.
Ghostwire tomorrow because I'm just got one chapter left. I'm like, I'll beat it tomorrow because I'll make video of it and post it. So I made chapter 5 and posted that. Oh,
I'm
Jazz.
gonna get to it. I'm gonna get to it eventually. It looked kind of dope though.
Yes. So that's what I've been playing. So let's get some of these hot, quick topics out the way, and we're gonna lead off with a Nintendo topic. I'm gonna start with Mega. One of his topics talking about Zelda, because you guys know I'm not really interested in Zelda. But what do you think? Do you think the early leaks are going to hurt the game, or it makes you more? Do you think it makes it more appealing for you to want the game, or what are your thoughts on that? Or you just think somebody hating putting the game out? Mega.
Well, the game getting leaked just means that there might just mean spoilers beware. That's how I see it.
So you said you wasn't going to touch it, since it was leaked. You don't want to hear anything. You didn't investigate further. That's my point.
Not quite. I was hearing I know I was hearing some news about it, but I think the thing that I'm more surprised about is the fact that some people are like streaming the game a little bit on Twitch, and I'm just wondering, you guys
Well,
know that the Nintendo ninjas are gonna get you, right?
It's like,
Yeah, I
it can't
know.
be okay.
I know.
They gonna get their stuff snatched.
Yeah.
That's why I call their lawyers Nintendo ninjas.
Yeah, they don't play. Nintendo don't play any of
They
their
gonna
kind
snatch your
of
stuff. They just go appear like, yes, I like that. Doo-doo-doo.
Okay, so did anybody else hear about that?
I just read about it.
Yeah.
I just think people just want to be like, ooh, I had it first. Ooh. Just like, eh.
When does it? For my edification, when does it come out?
May 12th.
Oh, that's next week, right?
Yep.
I believe so.
Yeah, because the 15th is Monday.
It's next Friday.
Yeah, next Friday. I was going backwards from the 15th, right? That's Friday.
I'm interested.
You interested?
I am.
Why?
I like Zelda.
Mm.
Just plain and
When's
simple.
When's the last time you played a Zelda game?
Forever. It's been a while.
It's been
a while,
for me
Megan.
too. I hear you, Mark.
Yeah. I mean, it looks good. I like the play mechanics of it and, building the little vehicles and stuff like that.
All right. Well, I'm gonna just tell you right now. Tell me about it because I'm not playing it. What about you, Jasmine?
I like OG. Have not played any kind of Zelda game in a long time, but yeah,
I haven't played a
it looks
Zelda
fun.
game since
Since
2000,
when?
2008, probably.
Oh, sooner than I thought.
Shoot, the last one
What
I
was
Been
that?
a
Wind
while,
played.
huh?
Waker?
Right,
What was that? Wind
2008.
Waker?
That is kind of
That's
sooner
the
than I
last one
thought.
I
That's
played. Was that on Wii?
Which one was it? Which
Wind
one was it?
Waker.
Wait, which one y'all talking
The
about?
I just remember I played it on my Wii. I think it was
The
Wind Waker.
shell shaded one?
Yep.
Wind Waker was on the Nintendo GameCube, but there
Oh, that
was the
was a GameCube.
HD.
So what
Which
There
was the
one
was the
that
one?
came
HD
out?
remaster that came on Wii U.
Okay, so no,
And
not Wii U. There was one I was playing on Wii, like the original Wii. I
Yeah, I think I
cannot
I'm
played
That
on.
must
assuming
have been the
that's
wolf
either.
one. Yeah. Skies.
Oh, the Wolf
Well,
one's Twilight Princess.
yeah, there you go. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's the last one I played. As I'm looking up on my wall at the gold cartridge of Zelda.
Get that boy the Nintendo library.
For real. Thanks, Megan.
Okay, not hating on the
You got any
not
Nintendo questions? Just ask him.
yeah not hating on Nintendo, but we can move on.
I love it.
Okay, what about who is this Xenoblade developer? Monolith Soft. I thought that when you said Monolith, that was that Monolith that was belongs to part of WB. So they gave
Nah,
people
Ma.
raises. Yeah, so they gave people raises. How much was it in U.S. dollars? I see it was 50%,
It
something in yen
about $1,100.
a year.
Uh, I guess so. That part I wasn't clear on, but was it 250,000 yen? It's about $1,200.
I
Say that
think
again.
but then we should
Say that
keep in mind
again.
that a lot of
Let me
I'll
Google
say this
again, double
first. We're
check.
not only going to focus on Monolith Soft here, but also other Japanese companies have been like raising wages due to inflation.
Excuse me, $1,800.
That's what you said that a month.
That I don't know.
Hope so.
That's
Okay.
all they getting a month.
It says their salary. It's added to their starting salary, so I think that's the whole year.
No, I don't know because
What?
That's what it
I'm
says
kind of
here. It says
confused.
starting salary for new graduates will be increased by 22%.
22% to two hundred and
Okay.
fifty thousand yen.
Okay. Well, let me say this piece. What is it? Koei Tecmo is at the bottom. Also increased the average basic salary of its staff by 23% and pledged to raise the starting salary for new graduates. Bandai Namco took a similar course of action last month, raising its basic pay rate by an average of 50,000
Fifty
yen.
thousand yen.
So that's only $300, $372. Ooh.
What? The-
Thanks.
Ooh.
It's
Oh,
a step up from a pizza party.
I know, right?
man, they paying them like sweatshop.
I know.
Man.
I mean, is that an extra a month or is that extra a year?
Hmm.
Because
This,
a
this
year, that's almost $4,000 a year, which is not bad to give somebody a pay raise. But if you saying they just that's $300, that's $4,000 a year. That's not bad. It's
I
not
think this
great.
might be a translation error or something, because the bottom part has me
It gotta be.
confused. It has the dollar sign, 50,000, and then it says yen.
Right, but that's what they're saying
That's
is yen.
so is it
Fifty
dollars or
thousand
yen? If
yen.
it's
That's,
yen, get rid
no,
of that dollar
fifty
sign.
thousand. No, 50,000. But that's what just they're
That's
doing that because they know it's American. You're American reading it, so they're putting a dollar sign because they're saying that we reading it are ignorant and we don't know what yen is money.
because looking at that 50,000 yen
Right,
is $372.
Who
right.
you calling ignorant?
So are they really paying them
Yeah,
like
you gotta keep
that?
in mind, Japanese yen is kind of like different in terms of its numbering system. Like it's like a penny 100 yen.
No, not even that, because I have the translation up. It's
I
just
think he talking to some of his friends that we don't know
yeah.
how to convert money, but that's okay. Thank you.
Wait, what? Excuse me. Okay, okay.
He up there telling us how to convert. Thank you, sir.
No comment.
Nihongo
No
kane wa
comment.
karimashita.
Well, the only thing I wanted to say, I hope that's roughly $300 a month, especially for
Yeah.
software. Yeah, if I don't know if the article is kind of vague because it doesn't really say if that's software developers or that quality assurance people. Who are these people? People fresh out of college? I don't know. But hey, $300 extra, almost $400 extra a month is not bad. I guess I'm not gonna jump on
I
somebody jump on somebody for trying to pay people more money. Um, if something's better than nothing, as long as it goes up with the cost of inflation. You have nothing. You don't have anything to say, Serge.
No, because like trying to figure out if that's month or year. If it's by year, I'm like, yeah, I guess.
No, I don't think that's by you. I think it's. I'm going to go with
Because
monthly.
because a monthly, I'm like, okay, increase like you say, something is better than nothing. But if it's matching inflation, I'm pretty sure that should be by
Yeah, that's about a month. I'm going to make the assumption that that's about a month because $300 extra a year is nothing.
yeah. That's like, and
Taxed
thank
out
you,
before you see it.
It ain't nothing.
thank you for the Christmas bonus.
Hey,
That,
if
that
that
that's exactly
no,
what that is.
if that's a Christmas bonus, you can keep it. I don't want
That's exactly what that is.
it. Bonus should be like $5,000, $10,000, $15,000. That's a bonus. Otherwise, you give me $300, $400. That's a meal. You give me a gift card. That's what that is.
For real.
That's not. Let's keep it real.
Literally.
You give me a gift card. Okay, so hopefully, well, I wish the best for them, and the same thing is going to start happening all around the world to keep up with the pace of inflation. As companies say they don't have the money to pay people, but inflation's a beast, especially in the U.S., where the U.S. government raised interest rate a quarter of a point yesterday.
Yeah.
So you guys with credit card bills, you better start paying them off because that interest on them credit cards is not funny.
No
So
credit card debt for me. Mm-mm.
good, good, good.
For
Okay,
real. I
let's.
need your help over here.
Uh, hey, you got that
It's the
prince.
devil.
You got that prince sitting over there on the side chilling.
Need somebody to credit card
Shoot.
bill. So.
Okay, we can move on. I just wanted to get you guys' opinion on that. That was one of Mega topics he gave us. Mega was on the roll last week. He gave us a lot of good topics to discuss. So, do you guys think the Ukrainians are learning from the U.S. As far as using handheld video game consoles to operate machines,
I don't know,
to operate
probably.
fight wars? What do you think about that? Do you think Call of Duty is helping them?
Let
I hope
Yep.
not.
me
Wait a
see
minute.
some more
You say
scope.
helping them?
I'm using Xbox controllers like
Yeah,
I'm gonna
Gatling
glitch
guns.
over.
yeah,
I'm gonna glitch over behind the tank and get him.
yeah. I
Yeah.
said using Xbox controllers, and I meant to say, let me rephrase it another way so people actually don't think that I'm serious about this. Training with and using Call of Duty as a training tool. Let me say it that way.
Oh, we not surprised. Come on.
I hope not. Tell you what,
These people that grew up with that game, man, they should
if
be very well trained.
you using if you using this version of Call of Duty to train, hey, I feel sorry for you. Now shooting at stationary targets, I can see that as a training tool, but and training to maneuver around, but not actually fighting other people because these people be jumping and don't and physics does not have anything to do with it, but they're jumping and shooting and with dead aim accuracy, which boggles my freaking mind. But What do you think about that? Them training and using machine guns and things of that nature, or with controllers. Do you think their accuracy is on point? Do you think it's what's the word I'm looking for?
I think it's more so for a cover tactic.
You think
Cause,
so?
What you mean
'cause
for
I
a cover
mean,
tactic?
if you sitting up behind a machine gun, sitting up, you kind of exposed. But if you use controller, you could run a line and get behind a mound
And
and just
use your
have a spotter and just have a
and,
spotter
or
and
put a camera on it and
uh-huh.
okay,
Yeah, you get more better cover.
a camera with a stabilizer on there or something.
Like a GoPro or something. Or have a camera next to it. You don't have to be mounted on it. It could just be nearby.
That's
What
a
do you think?
video right there. Did I just see a video?
Did, did Jazz load the video?
I think she found a video. Or it's
Yeah,
just pictures.
Oh, leave it
yeah.
alone.
Leave it alone.
There you go. There you go. It looked like it was inside a tweet or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, right there.
sometimes when you click them, they go into the tweet instead of just.
So they have a controller on this?
You will not see this.
That kind of looks like the gun that, what's his name? Zord had, and the Fifth Element, the one that went on his arm.
The
Ah.
multi-tool gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, with his head, you know, with the front end, you know what he looks like to me? The little character in Star Wars Jedi. Front end.
Ever
Oh,
wonder
it's
what
got a front
consumers
mount
are
camera.
thinking when they see your ad?
that's
Stop
camera.
wondering and just ask. Viro Games makes it easy.
You see, ain't nobody up behind it. You have to be up on it in a prone position.
That's why you said cover. I can see that.
As far as
You
the
Oh,
focus,
way
so you
back
saying-
off somewhere.
Okay, somebody's way back off with a controller in their hand.
Yep, with a monitor, able to see through whatever the camera sees.
And it's stabilized in the mug. That thing is super stable.
it's on a tripod. Interesting.
This is a random thing to say, but this piece of news reminds me, and I'm not sure if it's a hoax or not, but back in the 2000s, there was news that I think it was Iran, some Middle Eastern country, that was using like a bunch of PlayStation 2s as a supercomputer to launch like missiles or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Sony made a big deal about it too.
They're making a big deal about somebody reverse engineering their technology and using it to their advantage. Very dangerous.
Yeah, that was one of my thoughts too about the Steam Deck, because they didn't comment when they were asked about, what do y'all think about the military using it? They didn't say anything. But, I mean, it's mostly open source, so it's like, hey.
Yeah, I mean, it's technically a computer.
You want to say to the government,
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
It's on the isn't that on the Linux kernel?
I believe so.
No. And when you say open source, that's just a whole way into things getting hacked as well because it's open source. But anyway, okay, that's interesting. I wish them well and better on their endeavors to create better combat weapons with consoles and joysticks.
Whatever you want to do with that.
Yeah.
That sounds funny the way you said that.
It is. It's like, whatever you want to do with your consoles and joysticks. Good luck.
I don't have much to say about
Have
this
fun with
here.
that.
I just
Really?
think, because I think we do. So I'm gonna merge these next two topics together, and I'm gonna see if you guys are gonna pick this up. I know you guys are. But, Sony is going to reduce an investment budget to allocate more cash for PlayStation gaming. Right? That question I'm asking. What do you guys think about Sony saying we're going to rob Peter to pay Paul? Meaning we're going to reduce investment. We're going to focus more on games or infrastructure, and we're only going to put fewer bangers out because they're putting all that money into them 10 games, right? Of those 10 live service games. And I'm merging this with the re-release, and I'm going to call it the re-release of the PS5 version of Spider-Man that's releasing this month, which they're going to sell for $49.99 if you don't have it. And if you have the remastered version on your PS5, it's going to cost you $10.
Man, all that just sounds so confusing.
I need an Excel sheet to keep with the times tables and the pricing charts.
Man, anything to suck another dollar out of you.
Keep that
I
in
tell
mind.
you.
Okay, keep that in mind. So, what do you guys feel about them being Sony saying, okay, we're going to divert more funds to develop games?
Can I just say real quick, I think it's funny because in a few podcasts earlier, you made a point that they're trying to do this and that and say this and that about everybody else, but you can't say anything if you don't have your own core together and you're basically just investing in everybody else and buying up everybody else. So it's funny to see them good, I guess, I mean, for business, but just seeing it turn around like, oh, maybe we should make our own stuff.
Mm-hmm. Very true. What do you think, OG?
Which part? The investment, more money into games?
Yeah, and them charging for the remastered version of Spider-Man for the PS5. Now remember, it was remastered again for the PS5. Now it's a remastered, and I guess they're doing it like the.
Okay, my thing is anybody complaining about it? Do we hear anybody complaining about what they're doing?
The double standard? No.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all.
But okay, go ahead because
I'm gonna go buy it right now. Buy it right now. It ain't got nothing to do. It ain't wrong. It ain't wrong. Perfect.
You sit over here and talk about Xbox all day, what they're doing, but what didn't happen. Well, over here, you're getting robbed.
Did they ask for a re-release?
I know I turned.
No.
Wait.
What is
I want to
with
make this-
re-releases?
Did you hear anything about a re?
Why y'all keep doing the re-re's?
Remix all the way from PS4 to PlayStation 5.
I mean, it's cool for like the hardcore
Wait,
games
can-
that you
wait, I
like, but
have a
like it's the
question
same
to
thing.
make
I don't
this
understand the
clear.
purpose.
Okay, go ahead. Where do you need clarity?
So right now, are there so last time, like the Spider-Man remastered version on PlayStation 5, you can only how did it release again? And why are they
I don't-
re-releasing it?
That's the question.
The question?
That-
We don't know.
Why
don't
are you
know.
doing this?
Okay.
Is there a need for
Like
it?
what? Like was it a part of something? What's like the only way you can get
the-
is that by a certain
Okay,
like,
let me
overrated
say it.
game?
Let me say it this way. This is my understanding. When it will, let me say it says remaster. Because I was on my PS5 today, so it said remaster. Made sure I looked at it. I'm talking about the one that's present that came out and I think that one was remastered, and they only thing they did was I think made it 1440p probably and 60 frames per second. Now they're releasing another one and calling it a remaster for PS5 only.
Right.
Okay, I'm assuming the old one is like what the PS4 version, but what optimized for PS5 or something?
That's what I just
Well,
said. Yeah.
well, that one, it did have ray tracing.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was that was justified by it again, I guess. So, yeah.
You
What
said
can you
it was
say?
you said it was justified.
I said they probably justified it by that with the ray traces and the ray tracing and the reflections. That was the only difference.
Okay, what about you, Serge?
I just think it's funny that they re-releasing all these games and not making no new IPs, but they want to point fingers and talk about everybody. Like,
Another point.
yeah.
Another point.
So it's good that they allocate money towards new games. Hopefully, we get some good ones.
Go ahead, OG. Yeah, hopefully. You said you have another point, OG.
No, I didn't. I had another point.
Okay. Here's the thing that I find funny. First of all, the article states that Sony is going to take money from X and move it to put more development in games. So I'm assuming they'd already did that because where are you getting the money from to make 10 IPs, new IPs that are live service? That's one. And the other point that I really want to make is the reason why you keep seeing these remastered games is because the core audience will still pay $10. And those $10 that you could have two developers go in and fiddle around with and call it an upgrade and not a full team, then that's what they're doing. And they say, we'll put it back out there. All these people that got PS5, they will go out here and do this. And this is where they're getting that extra money to develop those live service games or XYZ. I just, like the rest of you, I find it kind of funny that if Microsoft has said, okay, we're going to re release, and this is a rumor, I don't know if this rumor is true, but say if Microsoft said, and I would do this because I'm petty. If I was Microsoft, I would release. There was a rumor that they're going to re-release Fallout 4, right? And
Mm-hmm.
specifically for the Xbox Series X. Now they may do it for the PS5, right? I say, okay, I'll do it for you, but you're gonna pay your $10, just like Sony did. Would that be wrong?
Yeah,
I'm
cause they
at,
be like, how you gonna not charge the other people, but you playing charging us?
you
Well,
know, you don't own an Xbox. Membership has its privileges,
y'all
but
used to y'all used to that ecosystem.
there you but you would see the double standard. You would see IGN, all these other places. See, Microsoft is not right, but yet Sony does it. It's okay. I
Mhm.
just see Sony's is money grabbing as much as they can to pay for all this stuff that they're doing. They got a lawsuit. You think all them high powered lawyers trying to block this Microsoft deal? That goes into that. Sony's spending a lot of money. And all these live service games, all of them are not going to hit. And I don't care what anyone says. I posted somewhere, someone's talking about all their first party games, and I said if you played any of their first party games, I don't care what anybody says, their first party games are good, but the gun mechanics on every game that they have suck. The Last of Us gun mechanics suck.
Yeah, the
All
game ain't really about the gun mechanics,
no,
so
but if you gonna put a
but
gun on
when
there,
they but
if you gonna put a gun on there, the gun should work.
yeah, and I had no hesitation, big
Right.
circle, little circles.
So so if they're going to make a Last of Us multiplayer or any of these type of multiplayers, make sure the mechanics of the guns work. And if you're making live service games to compete with the likes of what's that game? Fortnite, Call of Duty. What's the chicken hunter game? Chicken dinner game?
Yeah.
That's
PUBG.
PUBG. Yeah.
PUBG. If you gonna make make games that's gonna compete with them, then those gun mechanics have to be on point. Otherwise, people won't play it.
Well, they're making 10 of them, so some got to stick to the wall, right?
That's my point. You're gonna throw something, but and that goes to the point we're gonna get to later. You making all these games, something's gonna do well, some are gonna fall. Some's gonna stick, something's not. But I just found it funny that, like you guys said, I didn't see the outrage for them re-releasing Spider-Man again, as if it's really gonna make that big of a difference. And you charging me $10, and $10 is nothing. It's just the principle.
It says, what's the count now? 38 million consoles.
I thought it was higher than that, dog on there 40 something. But if you're not buying games, your attach rate on the PS5, even at 10%, is 4.8 million, right? Or
Yeah.
3.8 million, whatever it is. Say for instance, whatever it is. Let's give them
So
40.
so they basically buying consoles right now just because it's the end thing to get a PlayStation 5, right? They say, "Oh, I got a PlayStation 5,"
I
because they're
think a
not
lot
buying
of
games.
no, I think a lot of that was also pent up demand where they weren't available, and now they're readily available. So that's why the numbers creeped up significantly. But when you have PlayStation come out the next week and say our numbers are going to fall and we're not going to get those game sales because we were heavily impacted and get $70 games are not selling, that makes Game Pass more palatable to me because I don't have to spend $70 on a game. The next $70 game I'll buy will probably be Diablo 4. So
Be worth it.
yeah, oh, I know I'm buying it. I'm not buying it. You know what I mean.
Using my points to get it.
My points. That's him. He uses points. But I just wanted to get you guys' opinion on how Sony's going to start investing more in games, and we'll see how that goes. I'm anxious to see what they bring out because, to me, I think all Sony games, first party games, play the same. That's just me.
Are they probably gonna be a bunch of shooters, right?
I hope
Most
not.
likely.
I hope not.
Most likely.
Here's the scary thing about shooters. I think that if it's going to be hard to take people from Call of Duty, it's going to be hard to take people from Battlefield, it's going to be hard to take people from Fortnite, it's going to be hard to take people from PUBG, unless they, and that's not going to happen. But I'm gonna say it right now, unless it's free in a live service free game, I don't see how they're going to attract the masses to buy it, and it's going to be like a Call of Duty model where skins and everything else cost, but you're only going to focus on the the PS5 and then PC, or are they going to do it both? I still don't see how they're going to attract and keep that many people, and I just don't see it.
Shoot, at this point, they can make a kill zone. You might as well bring it back, right?
That may be one of the live service games they're trying to bring back.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I just thought about that.
Yeah, one of their existing IPs. I don't think they're going to reinvent the wheel. Sony really doesn't go out that far to reinvent the wheel. So it's probably either Killzone, which I don't. Killzone's mechanics weren't great either. And what's that other one? OG. Everyone,
SOCOM.
not SOCOM. The other one,
Resistance.
Resistance.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Resistance.
that's the one.
Didn't
That's the
that
one.
die on the PS3? Oh, was it the PS5?
That was PS3, I think.
PS3.
Mm.
Because I thought Resistance was good. Really thought Resistance was a good game.
Yeah, I enjoyed Resistance. The whole trilogy was good.
Mm-hmm. Knowing
I would
Sony,
keep.
they may re-release that too, updated,
Mm.
which goes back to see people like to stick with what they know because they don't want to take chances. I'm giving hints out. Okay. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, you
Yeah.
got it. Okay. So we'll see how Sony turns out with that. Are you guys scared? Are you guys looking at Blizzard wants to use AI generated artwork to flesh out its game worlds? I think we spoke about this somehow a little bit last week, but remember
That was with the chat. The
Chat GPT.
that's
yeah.
AI. So
Yeah.
did you? And what do you guys think about? What's the fear?
I don't like it. I mean, I think it's cool as a concept, but
You said you do or don't like it.
I like the idea because it's cool, However, speaking from my artist brain, I don't like it
Exactly.
because it is taking our jobs.
I was
Let
about to
me
tell.
create
You
a
don't need no
background.
work.
Let
Peter can
it
do
taking
it.
their jobs.
It's
Don't make me
their
pull up
job.
that South Park clip. You know what? I think I
Uh,
will. But
I was about to go
here's
after.
my thing.
Yeah, I was about to go after her. Go ahead, OG.
Here's my thing. Okay. Blizzard, they're using machine learning and they're going to create the art, but then you feed machine learning the art, and the machine learning will come back and produce more art for the game. So the art is going to feel sterile. It's not going to have that
Uh,
feeling of an artist that really did it.
right, exactly. So, however you choose to muck it up and restate what we just said, it's still putting people out of work. So,
Yeah.
instead of you doing it, we're going to have you do just a little bit, which makes you part time, and bring you in
Instead of
for a
having
half.
3, I could have
you know
1.
what? They're gonna make the backgrounds or whatever artwork, and then they're gonna have the artist go in and fix it and take away the extra fingers and stuff like that, just the retouching purposes. Terrible.
I mean, when you take that human element out of it, because humans make mistakes, right? But that's what make the art unique to me.
Okay.
Everything's
So
gonna be congruent and look the same. Like this.
I want to say as of right
exactly, it's
now,
not
I want to
perfect.
say
It's
as
not
of right
perfect.
now,
This makes it good.
AI. I want to say right now, as it comes with art with AI, it's still not, extremely good. You can still see some like it still feels uncanny.
So you're
That's all I'm
saying it.
saying with the extra
Wait.
fingers.
So, so let's get the bases out. Let's get the. It's in its infancy. That's what you really want to say.
In its infancy, yes. Yeah.
Okay. What about you? I got another topic that relates to this, but I want to get you guys' thoughts. What about you, Serge?
Oh, AI is great. I have no problems with AI at all.
Your sarcasm, your sarcasm, bro.
Nay, I ain't taking no chance.
Nice.
They're
When the AI
looking.
overlords come, they will know I say AI is A-okay. That's what I hey. But
I'm always for the artist. So
but seriously, I think it's just replacing people because they just gonna use it in more ways. They just dipping their toe and seeing what they can get away with and see what works, and it's just
Okay.
gonna progress from there. Because they losing, and especially in Blizzard, they've been losing a lot of people. So
Okay. You guys know the Screenwriters Guild is on strike this week,
Mm-hmm.
and you know what one of their stipulations are or
What?
is?
AI, no AI.
Let me guess AI.
No
You replace
right
us.
AI writing scripts, and I can see that. But the problem I have with AI writing scripts, and I don't know, but what I think is that when you have AI write a script, I don't think there's going to be any emotion and feeling in that script.
that's all part of it.
Cause does AI know the
That's just me
relationship
speculating.
with the characters
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
the
don't.
human
what's
soul.
going on?
I don't think AI can do that. I don't think AI can at this stage in its infancy. I don't think it can grab the heart and soul of a person or a character. Let's not call it a character because at this point, and that's the thing about when they start developing code for video games, I don't think they can grab AI can at this point grab the character in the video game and write the code. They can write the code for it, but I think the character will be stale, as it would be in a movie or because I don't think the AI can write that and tell that person behind, okay, you're going to have this feeling, you're going to look like this, you try to look like this, because you have somebody writing it that has feelings. So again, be careful what you ask for. I want to see how this is going to turn out because that's scary.
Mm-hmm.
And you
Because
notice it just started just ramping up AI, like maybe the last 5, 6 months. That's all we talk about.
true. Because watch out once McDonald's and Burger King can get one little robot can take care of everybody and listen to your speech and
Ain't
say
gonna be no little robot.
and make me XYZ, and it's going to be
This is gonna be the
it's
whole kitchen.
it's going to be it's going to spit it out for you. Okay, I want a cheeseburger and
Hmm
fries. I don't want any extra.
I seen it.
I,
I think they got one of them in
I was gonna,
Wisconsin. It's some restaurant.
it won't be able to handle some people though, because you know how some people, and I'm trying to keep this to be funny, but you know how we go. We don't want this. We don't want that. We restaurant. The AI gonna say, then you do it your damn self. 'Cause
Hey,
that's
the,
what's
the robot just completely it did it. It does all that.
I'm just being
I
funny.
synced it. I synced the video.
You synced it.
It was the whole kitchen, and it was a big robot, and it just cooked everything in the order.
You ain't gonna
Each
be able
burger
to get into a
individually
fight with
Ooh,
the
cooked in
that's
order.
robot.
creepy.
Only needed two people to run the stuff, one for the casuals and one to make sure the robot had everything it needed and mess and fix it when it mess up slightly. The whole McDonald's, two people.
It's gonna be quite interesting. So I think we're going a little bit too much for it. The other big thing that they just announced, though, I think PS Pro is supposed to come out and a new Nintendo Switch. If that is the case, do you think people should be pissed off at not Nintendo but at Sony for bringing out a PS5, which they have only launched what 4 Sony games on the PS5 since it launched, or maybe 5? God of War, Gran Turismo, Horizon Forbidden West. What's the other game? PlayStation 5 game made by Sony.
Um, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
Ratchet and Clank. Did you say Returnal?
Yeah, Returnal. That's 5 games, right? Maybe 6 in 3 years.
Yeah.
Seems like it.
I have a
Wow.
theory about this, especially about the Pro.
Okay, what is it?
Is I'm thinking the PS5 is not going to be able to handle these new engines that's coming, the Unreal Engine 5.1.
You don't think so?
I got a feeling something's up with that. I mean, they don't have RDNA 2.
RDNA 2, but it
Mm-hmm.
but how can they release something with RDNA 2 when you leaving that whole 38 million people behind? It still has to say have that basic architecture.
Well, the basic architecture is off the PS4. Those are just PS4 dev kits with some enhancements. That's why the games run better right now.
Yeah, it's not as vast as people think. And it's the
Yeah,
lead console that people design off of, but that's another. Okay.
it's another story.
Yeah. But I mean it's I think more that Nintendo will probably launch than Sony launch a PS5 Pro. I
Yeah, I
won't
could see Nintendo
I
launching
won't
first.
yeah, I won't buy it. I mean I won't buy a
Yes, you
PS.
will.
I
Yes,
said
you will.
A PS5 Pro?
Hey, don't force Mike. He
Now,
has free will.
now you're about Nintendo's. Whatever
Yeah,
Nintendo
I
bring out, it's going to be way more powerful, and I think you'll be interested.
no, that may be true. But I'm getting that other one too. That
Yeah, I
I
was
like
just about to say that
yeah,
Aces.
yeah, Aces. That thing. I'm like, okay,
He's
if it
getting
come out,
it.
that thing has my interest.
I could see Nintendo bringing out some more up to date, closer to definitely closer to a Series S.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah,
But I can tell you if they do, it's gonna be $399 easy.
yeah,
Hmm
yep. 399 easily. Yep.
Yeah. And they're not gonna take that other Switch off the market. They're gonna leave all of them up there running.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Leave them up
definitely.
there. Yep.
But we'll see what the big end does. They're kind of unpredictable as a company.
I mean, they're like, well, we're selling out of this regular one. Why do we need to? And they're cheap too, so they'll wait till they use Nvidia gives them that whatever chip they're using drops down in price again because Nintendo all about the money. Jazz, what are your thoughts?
Uh, I maybe Nintendo, Sony. I think it's still a little bit too soon. So yeah.
You can see Nintendo more than you can see Sony.
Yes.
Really.
Only because I mean, in my opinion, observation, Sony got a lot going on, but you know.
So you really saying Sony trying to do too much?
Yeah, but not like that. But yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
it's okay if I say my predictions.
oh yeah. Say your prediction.
Yeah. Um, for Sony, I feel like a PS5 Pro is kind of too soon. It feels somewhat the amount of games feels somewhat barren. I still feel like we haven't seen like the PS5's true potential.
You haven't seen any of them potential outside the Switch, but other than that, I haven't seen any potential.
And as for Nintendo, for me it's hard to pinpoint. I feel like I want to wait till June whenever if Nintendo ever has like a direct this summer. So for Nintendo, I'm uncertain. But yeah.
What about you, Serge?
I can see all this going ahead the Christmas season of 2024 or maybe 25 because PlayStation already been hinting at a Pro, so and I know they waiting on the Pro because as soon as like I said, as soon as they drop a Slim, they always got the Pro either near it or at the same time.
Well, I
So
can say,
you going with we're gonna see a PlayStation Pro before Nintendo whatever? That what
I
you
can see
said?
it happening around the same time, is what I'm saying. Because the Switch is what? How old the Switch? That's like about to be what?
Came out in March 2017.
Yeah, they about ready for a new one, 24-25 season.
so in other words, the Nintendo Switch is a little bit long in the tooth.
Yeah,
Okay.
and they due for an upgrade, especially with all the transformations in technology since 2017. And
I
actually
only, I
earlier than
only,
that.
I only say that only because of power, CPU power.
Yeah, but
Well, I
Nintendo
think.
has an inventive way of using their resources because
Well, I
their
think.
games ain't really that high demanding, but they need something that can compete with the free to plays.
Well, who is it making a chip for Nintendo?
Say that
So
again.
far, it's still Nvidia,
And it's
if
going
I'm
to
not
continue.
mistaken.
No, you're not mistaken. But my point, the reason why I asked the question is because Nintendo is going to use Nvidia again, and they're going to take the advances that Nvidia has made. Nvidia going to shrink some of their technology, for lack of a better way of putting it, to use DLS on a Switch.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that rumor.
Yeah, that's where Nintendo is going to shine. If they can put DLSS on a Nintendo, they're going to shine like crazy. But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll
Now,
see.
even if they do, it's still going to cost money. That's why I said if Nintendo launches a new console this year, it's $399 easy.
Yeah.
And so
Oh yeah, it's definitely gonna be
OG,
decent
you
price.
better get your pennies together. Ain't that right, Megan?
Hey,
Ain't that right, Megan?
If they
you
came
may
out with a game
you
that
may
I'm
buy me
interested
one. Who knows?
No, you see who I asked, right? OG.
in, then Mm.
You may
Okay,
buy me one.
I know that's right. Hey, he can increase that paper route, right?
There you
Paper
go.
boy,
There
paper
you
boy.
go.
Here we
All about that
go.
paper boy.
Yes. We'll see how that turns out. I don't personally myself. I see Nintendo releasing something either by Christmas or if they don't say anything. I don't know. Nintendo is funny. I don't see a PS.
Yeah, that's why I said they're unpredictable.
Yeah.
They
I
could be
don't.
chilling.
Yeah. I don't see a PS5 Pro until if it's 2024. I still think it's too early. And if it's 2025, this generation is going to run at least. It makes no sense because they even put out a PS5 Pro. I still don't think that a PS5 Pro will still compete with the Xbox Series X in power.
Yeah.
I don't see how that thing's going to run very hot. I don't care how much liquid,
You think they
whatever
care?
they. No, but they
They'll
want
let
to.
that bad boy run hot and sound like a jet engine.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, Jet engine.
Don't run it in
Okay.
the summer. Mm-mm-mm.
And you know, some of y'all ain't got air conditioning either, so you know
Nope.
that.
Work on that.
So let's get to this good last topic. I'm gonna meld this together. So earlier in the week and today, early in the week, Redfall released, and we discussed this. And the whole world, and I'm gonna say Xbox gamers are some two-faced people. I'm gonna put that out there right now. Two-faced, two-faced, two-faced. But I'm gonna say that for the end, for when I get to speak. But Redfall released, and Phil Spencer gave his interview. And in a sense, he kind of apologized about Redfall. So the question is, and I know you didn't play Mega, what is your opinion in playing Redfall? And what do you think about what Phil said? OG.
Well, you know me. I play Redfall. Um, the game it's average. It's not
Hmm.
good. It's not bad either. You know, it seemed like it was made to be a multiplayer.
Exactly. I agree.
Yeah, it seemed like it was made to be a multiplayer. Play with your friends,
Because I stopped
something
playing
like
because
that.
I stopped playing because I want to play with people. It just to me, the world is so open that you need somebody else to be in there talking with you. Even like in
Yeah.
Far Cry, you had your companion with you. Far Cry 5
Hmm.
and 6, you had a companion. Whereas you on this open world by yourself, so to speak. I thought in the beginning that one of the people or the characters would be with you, even if you didn't play multiplayer.
Mm-mm.
But
No
anyway,
companion
Right.
unless you got unless you got that character.
yeah. So, what are your thoughts about what Phil said in Redfall? Again, OG. Continue, I mean.
Phil was apologizing, and I don't feel like he apologizing. I don't know. The, the game, yeah, it's incomplete. I've seen a few things and some textures, some pop ins
Mhm. True,
and
true.
stuff like that, and I don't know. It looks like this is our culture now, like
Can
releasing
I ask?
these incomplete games.
Can I ask you a question?
Hmm.
And I want everybody to give me their. Was this worse than Cyberpunk? Yes or no?
Yeah.
No, it
Based on
wasn't.
what I'm hearing, I don't think Redfall's
No,
worse than
No,
Spider-Man.
no,
no.
because I played Cyberpunk straight on through on the Series S, and it was no problem. Yeah, it had some good, some good things going on, but it played cool to me.
Okay. And what do you think about Phil? Oh,
You asking me about Phil?
yes, sir. And what do you think about that? What he said and all that crap.
Which part? He said a lot.
Overall, what did you think of what he said overall? That's the question. Redfall, a lot of things that he appeared to be apologetic for. How did you think he came off?
I think Phil he sounded frustrated to me. He sounded frustrated. It seemed like he had a lot of things going on to me. Um, one of the guys asked him the question that Redfall was actually reviewed among them. They kind of knew it was going to be it sounded like they kind of knew it was going to have a low score,
Mm-hmm.
which is weird, and they went on and released it anyway.
Well, from what he
It
said,
just got
it was in the double digits low, so he was thinking probably like a 70, not
a
a 60
70.
something, or maybe
Yeah,
a high 70, a low 80, not no 60 something.
yeah. The game is average. I mean, it's about a 60, 65,
Do I hear average scores? Is that what I hear?
which is average,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's average.
Well, for its
But
launch, who knows? Maybe your opinion will change via updates, since
and I think that's what's going to happen, Mega. I think that's what's going to happen, especially if you're playing the multiplayer. I've seen a few videos and watching other people play it. It looked like they're having a good time. It was full of vampires and stuff like that. So I think with a good patch, it's going to be better.
Okay. What about Phil comments? You already made your. That was just all you had to say about that.
Um, It's Phil said a lot of stuff. He
I
said a lot of stuff, especially which is sad to me, but uh, the part of saying we can't compete with PlayStation or Nintendo.
He did not say that,
He did
but
not say
not
that
he did not say that. But go
at
ahead.
all.
This is I know that. This is what people are using on Twitter.
But you didn't say it like
The
that.
And
twisted
like
information that you
You didn't
found.
say it like that.
yeah, don't go by what people say on Twitter. Look for the actual source.
well,
Go
I
ahead.
think what I think no well, they make it sound like he's throwing in the towel. He's not throwing in the towel. That's what I'm
He
trying to
didn't
say.
say that either.
He didn't say that either.
I
He
know
actually
that.
said, "Well,
People
I
are
actually,
saying that.
I
Then say
okay,
people are saying that. Don't say it
I
like
did. I
he.
said that at first.
no, you didn't come across as saying that. You just as bad as them. But go ahead. Go ahead. Anything else you want to say?
Into a new route. And it's not 2013. It's 2023. They try something new. They want to be different. We can't beat them at the same game. That's
He
what Phil
said,
is saying.
wait a minute. He said something. I think a lot of people missed it and they took it the wrong way. So I'm gonna give you a little help on this one. And I think where people, because I don't want you to keep talking about it in a way the way
It's
they said it,
misinforming.
right? Because he said we messed up from in the Xbox One generation, meaning that that's when all the digital games came out. People were able to buy their games in digital format. That's when it was in mass. He said, if you sit up here and think people are going to give up their libraries
Yep.
to go to play and just get an Xbox and say, I'm going to leave my 30 to 40 to 50 games that I bought for the PlayStation 5
Or the
and
Switch.
leave it or the Switch. And I'm going to leave that just to go to the Xbox and vice versa. It ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
It's not. And then that to me goes back to also all the BS with the CMA and all of them thinking these people will jump ship because of one game. One
Yeah.
game does not an industry make. But that's where people felt as though he said he threw in the towel. He never stated
No.
he was throwing in the towel. What he said is, we're not going to compete. We're not going to compete as everyone think we're going to compete with them on a
Yeah.
console per console
We got
basis.
to find our
You,
niche as
you
Xbox.
found
How
right
we gonna run our community.
the way
We still
we.
haven't found that way yet
I
that we
don't think he
looking for.
did, and I don't think he said he didn't find a way because I think their way is this. And this way, remember the guy asked him about, well, do you feel as though you're leaving the Xbox players behind and you're going to the PC? And the perfect answer with that is that Xbox and PC have the same basic underlying architecture when it comes to the OS. That's point one. Point two,
Game Pass
And
is
hold
making
on,
$250 million a month.
but
and,
hold
A
on,
month.
and
Game Pass is making $250 million.
and he was saying we're trying to grow and start in a new direction. Why compete when Sony just stated, and I put this out there to people, but nobody wanted to answer it. Didn't Sony just state their consoles are selling, but their attach rate to video games are not? So
Exactly.
how
Yeah.
am I competing with you if you're not even selling consoles? You're selling consoles, but you're not selling games. So I can have, because I haven't bought a PlayStation game. I played what? I don't even know when I bought a PlayStation 5 game. I can tell you that right now. Last time I bought a PlayStation 5 game, I'm in a subscription service. I'm not buying a game, and I'm definitely not buying a game if I'm in a subscription service because I don't play that console that much. But my point I'm making is that where I think a lot of people screwed this whole conversation up is that they don't know how to interpret what he actually said.
Right.
It was all doom and gloom. Now
Right.
go ahead, because I don't want to finish. I want to finish and say what I want to say at the end. But anything else you want to say?
I'm good. I mean,
All right.
you summed up what I was trying to say.
Okay. What about you, Jasimoto?
It's just a lot of owning up. Like, yeah, we'll fix it. I'm
First of
sorry.
all,
Hmm.
let's go to Redfall first. What do you think?
Oh yeah. It was fun. Sir Rich and I played when it dropped. It just felt kind of empty. Like, I know it's a new game and everything, but because I come from the generation when you got games released and it was done and that's what it is, that's the experience you got, period. I'm like, eh. But I mean, yeah, I know of course they're gonna put patches out and stuff like that, so looking forward to that. But it was just kind of lackluster. There was one point where I think I was level 2 in Sir Rich's screen. It said I was still 1. Some of my button responses were a little slow. Oh yeah, a couple times the characters would float.
I
And
didn't see that. I didn't see that. Interesting.
yeah, when we were
Well,
streaming,
it was like we were in the same game, so it was like she was seeing me floating.
yeah, and it's
Like
on
it was
my
only happening in the
stream.
multiplayer and stuff.
He was floating, and then like he would walk into the like a hill, and he would like be eaten by the terrain. It was just funny, not really like overly annoying, but it's a new
I
game.
didn't have no hiccups. Nothing. I was just
Yeah,
looking weird on her side.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay. What
no
about
connection issues, nothing like that. But yeah, go ahead.
Phil? What he said?
Did he just seem like he was just owning up to stuff? That's what I got from it. Like, we're just gonna make it better, and it is what it is. I don't know about all this other stuff with the false information that was put out on Twitter. Admittedly, I didn't see any of that, but I heard a lot of it, and that's clearly not what was happening or what was being portrayed in the video.
Well, you know what? I was just thinking. Phil did say, he said this was a passion project. He said I'll let them do what they wanted to do,
Mm-hmm.
and we are going to try to be different. So
And
we
even
know
back,
Arcane is quality. I love
yeah,
all the Arcane games. You know,
And it seems like that came from a good place. Like, we trust y'all. This is what y'all want to do. Go ahead. We'll let you do it. Like, that's a good thing.
Exactly.
So I have no serious issues. Just get that patch out.
Okay. What about you, Sir Rich?
Well, first off, I said this game was gonna be like this. It was gonna come out and be average, and it was gonna play like it's playing. So I had no gripes about it. I knew it was gonna be unfinished and needed work. So every game does that now. I don't know why people act like it's gonna be different when the new game. One day it'll be different. That day just is not today. Because these studios got to make their bread and they got to make their money. They got to make moves. So RedFall plays okay. I mean, I wish it was more enemies, more distance, but I'm guessing. I was guessing maybe it's because we low and we don't have any real things to fight yet. Maybe when you get more leveled up, your enemy spawns will get better. So we'll see. It's a project. So
I have a question,
what's that?
and this is for all of you guys. But what do you think of the graphics of the game? Because that's one of the issues I heard about Redfall.
They're okay. Now, to me, they're okay. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
To be fair, Mega, Arcane is never known for their graphics. They haven't.
They just
So
like to build a
Do
quality
they?
world that feels
yeah,
legit.
Well, I'll
they're
tell you
average.
this. Do they look better than, I guess you can say, Dishonored 2? Because Dishonored 2 was the Xbox One game. This is the game developed for the series consoles.
I don't know about that. I heard this game was a PlayStation game.
I didn't. I heard. I didn't know about that, but I just know that it was developed multi-console at first. Yes.
Mm.
You be hearing a lot of stuff from these Twitter people.
I need to get on Twitter more. That's what I'm saying.
He said, I
Nope.
got all the digs. Saying.
Wait, what are you talking about? Wait, who?
OG double M.
Oh,
And these facts he be coming up with.
And if it's a multiplayer, you know it's not it's not developed on the Xbox platform first. Never.
I got something that may support that, but go ahead. I want to get to this my point because I got some stuff to say. All right, Serge, finish.
Oh, and with Phil, I think he was apologetic, but like I said, he was like, we not dealing with the PlayStation the way PlayStation Nintendo move. We gonna go on our own path, just like we always have. That's what I meant when I said that. Like they just like PlayStation is PlayStation, Nintendo's Nintendo, Xboxes. They've been dealing with what he already admitted that they failed. What in making games, so. And they didn't want to mess with anybody's. They've been taking a real offhands approach because they didn't want to mess with anybody's projects that they were already invested in, and they already admitted. He definitely admitted to.
You ever heard when you was growing up and you was a bad young kid? I know you always experienced this, and your parents or somebody would have said, and I know your parents would say to you, "Well, if you loved your parents, you wouldn't act like that, and you'd do better."
Yes.
Okay, hold that thought. Okay, keep on, keep going,
Yeah,
keep
but I
going.
was saying he was
No,
saying
no, that
also
relates
that
to
he
okay,
should have stepped in.
okay,
They should have stepped in more and reminded people of the
yeah,
resources they have access to. That's the next
okay,
thing I was about to
okay, okay,
say.
okay. And my whole point again is going back to if you love your parents, you would. Your parents told you this. If you loved them, you wouldn't do the things that you do, right or wrong. I know
No, they
somebody.
said you better act right.
that's a
No,
good point.
but parents have said more or less to some degree. You know, you wouldn't do this if you show love that you love something. You don't do things to things you love, right?
Super guilt. Ah.
Okay, you finish. I just want to make sure
Yeah,
you all
yeah,
get.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, let me get my little points out about this because I'm gonna talk about Redfall first, and what I find out about things. I want to give you an analogy first before I attack Redfall, and I'm not gonna say attack Redfall. Um, any of you heard of the movie Rhinefeld? Rhinefeld, the vampire movie by Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, it just came out, right?
I want
Okay.
to see that.
And but wait, let me ask you a question. Did you sign up on your Xbox today and you seen that it's already the video
Oh
on
wow.
Xbox? Okay,
Say
so
what?
stop.
Say what?
No, 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 no. It's already up there. I saw it today when I was on my Xbox. So it's there. So what I'm trying to get people to understand, critics and everyone said, and the movie studios thought that was going to be a number one movie. That movie freaking flopped. Okay, so what I like people to understand, every game is not going to knock it out the park. Now, rightfully so. Rightfully so. I'm going to say this 100%. Xbox gamers deserve more. I'm not going to ever say that is not the case. But the Xbox gamers, in my opinion, have as of late have become so two-faced that they like, okay, now you're expressing all this anger, but you're supposed to understand that all this stuff takes time. They're
Mm-hmm.
mad. They're mad because the ATVI, rightfully so, and the CMA trying to block the merger. Which, my opinion, I'm gonna say one last fill on this. If you don't hear anything before May 22nd, because I told you guys, anything good always comes out early. Anything bad launches on that day. And the CMA did exactly what I said, and I told you guys. If it's early, it's going. If it's late, it ain't going anywhere. So the EU, the same way. If the EU say something early, I think they're going to approve it. I still don't think they're going to approve it, but usually they approve it. Still thinking blocking. But I think Xbox has been let down. But you had, in reference to Redfall, you had bloggers, and I'm not going to get this guy's name, but he kind of pissed me off yesterday. I looked at his video. He was like, but Xbox shouldn't even, you need to pay attention to this. You need to pay attention to this. And you need to just pay that $3 billion breakup fee and give it to him and move forward. And like, everybody, this is what you don't like, haters. You give up already when the times get hard and tough. Now you ready to say, forget it, focus. Now, go back to what I meant by that is the fact that he himself went to play the video game. Then he was boasting that the game was all this and that. Why didn't he say that in the very beginning? So does that not make him disingenuous? Do you know who I'm talking about, OG?
Mhm.
Do y'all know who I'm talking about?
Mm-mm.
Okay. OG, you know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
It begins with a C. That's all I'm gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
It rhymes with Clint. So just think about that. The rest of y'all should know. Don't say it. But anyway, so it goes with Clint. Okay. But he was all on it saying how great it was, right? Then when people started calling him out, now he came out with a negative video. Oh, this is no. You were invited there. It was your job to say this in the very beginning. Now it makes me suspect of you because you played the game there, and yet you told me how fun it was, how engaging it was, how good it looked. Now all of a sudden, okay, they gave it to us on PC. So the mechanics were still there. The open worldness was still there. He said they played about an hour and a half or an hour. You mean I played game for about an hour myself, and I can tell you that the AI was acting up. The AI wasn't as smart as you would want it to be, and um, it didn't. It looks okay, but one thing that I did, and I know all you guys, and this goes back to what OG says in my comment when I said, if you really, and I'm this one, I'm a segue over the field, but the game's okay to me. It would be fun if I played with four people, with three other people. I think it'd be a blast because it'd be it's too dead with just one person.
Right.
But but did and this is kind of a spoiler, but it is not a spoiler. Remember how you? I don't know if any of you guys. I don't know if any of you guys picked this
Bless you.
up. Yes, Bush. Remember you started the game and you had to go to that area. If you guys haven't played this game, I have to say this so they can get where I'm coming from. You had to go to where the helicopters were.
Mm-hmm.
And you remember that safe house you found, the first
Mm-hmm.
one near there? Did you go? to try to get into this one and turn it into a safe house. But did you look where the fire was near the table and you saw a controller?
Mm-mm.
Y'all didn't see that?
Mm-mm.
Did any of you guys go see that? OG, did you see it?
Mm-mm.
Wow. I'd be
The
exploring.
controller?
And I and it goes back to what I call messaging. And it goes back to what I said. The
Okay.
controller looked like a PS5 or a PS3 controller. I was pissed when I seen that. I'm like, how in the devil do you make a game and it doesn't look like an Xbox controller? Am I crazy or
I gotta
what?
look that up now.
Oh, they left it in there.
It's in there.
They
I'm
left it
like,
in there.
and I'm like, are you freaking kidding me?
Hmm.
And that goes back to my point. So, what I meant by if you love what you're doing, I blame the developers more than I blame Phil. I blame Phil for not own. I don't blame Phil for not owning it. I blame Phil for saying you're not gonna have us say this game is great if it's not great. But I blame the developers to a extent because they needed help and they actually thought that that game was good, great, and it was going to be 60 frames per second. They should have said in the very beginning it wasn't going to be 60 frames per second. They should have been the ones to say, hey, Microsoft has given us free will to do what we want. So therefore, we need to make them look good. See, they made Microsoft look bad. That's what I meant by if you love what you was doing with whom you were doing it with, then you're going to do everything in your power to make sure they look good. That's why I feel the developers failed Microsoft. Microsoft didn't fail the developers. The developers, in my opinion, failed Microsoft because you got somebody that's going to give you free will to let you develop a passion project if you want to say that.
Mm.
And you came out with this. You should have said, hey, and also, and I'm going to go back to why.
They didn't get a full year, right? They got 9 months. Was it 9 months
To what?
to fix this game or whatever the delay?
Okay, I don't give a damn. Let me rephrase that. It wasn't that because remember they announced that game when before Microsoft bought them. They knew the state that game was in. So they switched from one engine to another. They did not know what they were doing in UE4. It's their fault as well for not reaching out and saying, hey, we don't know what we're doing. Let's get the coalition. A coalition came in at the last minute. Coalition should have been there at the very beginning because the
From jump.
coalition, they're masters at Unreal Engine, but they didn't call them. They waited to the last minute. Phil, in my opinion, as I told Jazimoto and Sir earlier, he was like, you know what? Everybody's looking at Starfield, so we're going to put all our resources in Starfield. And I'll put it out there now. I think Starfield is not going to have the quote unquote Bethesda bugs. It may have a couple of bugs that any game would have, but I don't think it's going to have that Bethesda bugs and have all this, that, and the other. But every game that has released this year, let's don't get it twisted, has had major bugs. But I feel as though
Not
people,
Hi-Fi Rush.
yeah, I'm not having a Russian hat, but but again, and he kind of mentioned that. I, like I said, it's like even Ghostwire Tokyo wasn't updated for an Xbox Series X, which kind of pissed me off. But it's a fun game. So my whole point is I blame the developer more because they invited all of them there. Phil cannot be everywhere. If you have your generals are responsible for their unit, right? Or sergeants or whomever, however you choose to phrase it or categorize, they are responsible for them. You cannot have that man. So what I think and the look he had on his face is that, you know what? I gave y'all freedom. Now I'm gonna show y'all what I mean because he it looks as if Satya called him and said, look, you effing up. And that's
Yeah, I
it.
mean he giving these devs free reign.
Yeah, but you
Just
can't.
like Ninja Theory with Bleeding Edge. That was their passion project. How long did that last?
But they
Hmm.
were working on something, and I don't think that whole team developed Bleeding Edge. I think it was, but Bleeding Edge wasn't fun. But Bleeding Edge didn't have any glitches or graphical issues. There's a difference. Do you agree?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I just think the look on his face was like, you guys made me look bad.
You made me you made me look bad.
And that's what he
What
said.
about
He
Yeah.
would,
Ys?
because we kind of like said, I'm not in the mood to put on this little happy face. But the other guy, the British guy, said something that made a lot of sense, and I'm paraphrasing. He made a sense. He said, uh, people always says two sides, there's failure and there's success. And the other guy was like, no, failure is part of success. How do you grow if you don't fail at anything? And that made good sense. And I'm paraphrasing what he said, and then feels like, you know what, I'm gonna use that. But I just think the studios themselves are not focusing on the Xbox. They're focusing on the game and just let's get it out. But I do not think they're understanding or Phil has gave them. But I think now moving forward, you're not going to see this happen again. I can promise you, you're not going to see that happen again. And that's the way I looked at him. I don't. And then as far as what his messaging is, that in my opinion, again, he was like, "Hey, we screwed up, but as far as games and Xbox, we have a different. We're marching to a different tune than the rest of them, and
Right.
they and you need to march to a different tune. Why do I want to go and try and fight your battles in your land based off the stupid agreements you already have in place?" So I didn't, and I think a lot of people need to read that. He didn't say he was giving up. He never said Xbox was giving up. He never conceded anything to Sony. He just said they have the lead and it's impossible. It's crazy. If you think you're going to make one game, and that's where he was like, one game is going to change the dynamics of the industry. It's not. Now, what he should have said, what he didn't say that helped Sony out last generation, is that Sony had three games that they marketed as their own: Destiny and Call of Duty, and I think they had FIFA. Three of them games they had marketing deals with. And in Europe, what's the number one game in Europe outside of Call of Duty?
Probably FIFA.
I
FIFA.
was
I
about
was
to
about to
say FIFA.
say.
FIFA is I don't know why. I don't like it. Hey, FIFA, the number one game. Here, it's Madden, Call of Duty number one. And when people were buying their PS5, Sony, as you see in all these deals, how Sony locked everything up like that. And if Microsoft would have played dirty like that in the very beginning, I don't care what anyone says. Yes, the Xbox One was not as powerful as, if you want to call that on paper, as Sony, as the PS5, PS4, but they had all the marketing deals. And Xbox had a messaging problem. They didn't know how to message. But if Call of Duty was thought to be exclusive to Xbox, like Sony did, some people weren't going to leave like they did in droves. To some extent, if they did the same thing and said, you know what, we're going to market all these games for ourselves and we're going to take it and do what Sony does. Thoughts?
Uh, Well, I just want to say one thing. Um, that XCast interview, that was a pretty good interview. Everybody did their best at
Yep.
asking questions, answering the hard-hitting questions.
Yeah.
I
He
I
answered them
applaud
all.
I applaud Phil for that.
Well, you
You
have
know,
to, like I said, you have to applaud him because he looked pissed. And he looked like he at that point, he looked like I messed somebody up. and I'm keeping it.
I'm grumpy Phil.
And he had every right to be. He
I
had,
mean, he had already said he said I'm not having a good week. He
and
he
that's
said that.
he did say that. He said that 100%. And do you blame him? I mean, if you let me down, you let me down, and I'm already peed off about all the work we put into the Activision Blizzard deal, and then you're gonna sit up here and I get played. So, let's go into the final topic. How does that make Xbox look for June 11 when they do their showcase? And you think they're going to be ready? And what games do you think they're going to show outside of Starfield? Because we know Starfield's going to take the cake.
I can tell you. Well, I can tell you what they should show.
That's not what I'm asking.
There's one certain game in my mind that I feel
Well,
like that they should
okay,
show as well.
no, let's go with you first. Then, what are your thoughts?
Hellblade 2. That's what I said.
Okay, what you have any other games outside of Starfield?
Um, a lot of the games I'm thinking about are games that I feel like they're gonna come like not really soon. I guess
Uh-uh.
it's been a while since we heard of Outer Worlds 2.
I don't think. Okay, and what are your thoughts on that?
I feel like they should give us an update on Outer Worlds 2 because like I feel like the last time they mentioned it was like what 2020, wasn't it? 2020, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that was the last time.
But yeah, they should. But yeah, they should keep us updated on the Outer Worlds 2. And there's also Avowed.
The question is, what games do you think they're going to show at their E3? So those are the two games.
Yeah, other than that, I feel like we might get some surprises.
Yeah, he said that.
Oh, well,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
he said maybe some surprises that people haven't seen. What about you, OG?
I think you got definitely show a showpiece. I don't care what Phil says. You need at least one showpiece to show
Hey, when
what
you
the
say
Series X
that,
is about.
okay, give me one game. Give me a game.
It has to be Hellblade 2. That's your showpiece.
Oh, sorry to interrupt, but also Perfect Dark.
I was
Nah,
getting to that.
I
I was
don't
getting
think
to that.
I don't think they're gonna show that. But go ahead. Yeah, I'm asking open questions. So okay, Perfect Dark. What else?
Yeah, Perfect Dark is one of them. Show something. Show something of that game. Avowed. You can show Avowed. And what's the RPG Playground Games working on?
Fable.
Fable. They say Fable's in a playable state. Show it. Matt Booty said that.
Okay.
Show it. You know. I say, hey, play your deck. All cards on the table. Let's go. That's it. That's it for me.
Okay. Sir Rich, what about you?
I think definitely could probably show Starfield and Hellblade.
There's definitely Starfield's gonna be.
Hmm
They got a
Yeah.
whole show dedicated.
No, so they probably gonna showcase that one. And then I think they gonna have a bunch of unnames, like stuff they've been working on, but we haven't seen yet.
I guess something I want to add to that is
That's what they call surprises. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking.
speaking
It's
of
probably
su-
gonna be more based on stuff that we haven't seen. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
no, speaking of surprises, I'm curious on what Double Fine's next project is going to be. after Psychonauts 2.
Okay. So you think
Yeah.
Just saying that. Yeah.
okay. I don't think Double Fine makes console selling or people grabbing games, but okay. What about you, Serge, you done?
Oh yeah.
All right, Jazzamoto.
Um, I'm a yeah, I agree. Lots of surprises. Aside from Hellblade, can't really think of too much. Um, yeah, I'll just have to say,
Hellblade is definitely the big elephant in the room.
yeah, that's just like, show me something new. I'll be happy with that.
Is that it?
Yeah. Ooh, excuse me.
Okay. What do I think? I think like all of you guys agreed upon they're going to show something they haven't shown, so we're going to say that's a surprise. Definitely,
Mm-hmm.
they. I just think the pressure is on them because of the outrage, some fake outrage, and I think feels under pressure to make sure the brand is looking good and strong and not weak. And I think there were missteps, and like I said, they all did focus on the ABK. I'm crossing my fingers with doubt and still have doubt, and that is going to depend because that if they get the EU's okay, then they're going to fight it, and we'll see how that transpires. But I'd be the bold one if I don't all, and I'm gonna say this right here about that. If I was Microsoft, I'd do what Michael Pachter said: is not sell Game Pass, Call of Duty, and Game Pass in the UK, and let the Brits suffer and close the deal and fight it. I'm serious. I would. I'm serious. I would do that. Then you get your government together and stop having them side with Sony because all that other stuff is a placebo. They were that cloud gaming that makes up 0.4% of the market. You really going to say that and block a deal because you can read the future? Then give me the lottery numbers for next week.
Mm-hmm. I need
But
them.
but I do agree that they're under pressure. So you will see Hellblade. You're most definitely going to see Hellblade. You're going to see Forza. I think Forza's coming out this year. We already know. Yeah, the surprise, and I think they are working on this, but they may not say it. But this is why I think all the focus has been on Starfield. I think Starfield's going to be 60 frames per second. If not, he would have answered that question today.
I thought he did.
No, he didn't.
He didn't.
What he said was they said it's going to be 30 or 60 frames. And maybe he didn't want the outrage from the fans. But like somebody else said, name one Bethesda game like that ran it. That's why the whole RedFall thing was stupid because they don't make 60 frames per second games. So unless he didn't want Fallout this again, he said we'll just announce it then. That could be the case. But maybe they put all the resources and they said they updated that Starfield engine, right? Because the Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6 are running off that new updated engine.
Yeah,
So
they
maybe
are.
maybe they got it to run at 60 frames per second. I think that may be a surprise, and I think that may be what they're kicking for. But like he said, if they didn't put that in the plan for 60 frames per second, it may not happen. That is my hope. Um, I don't know about Perfect Dark. I think they're going to show Contraband. I think they're going to
I forgot
show.
about Contraband.
I think they're going to show. What's that? Zombie game. They're going to show that.
State of Decay.
Which one?
State of Decay. I think, and if to me they need to make State of Decay more of a. To me, I would go after. This is just me, and you can call it copycatting, but that would be my Last of Us.
Yeah, yeah.
That would be my Last of Us game, where I would go head to head with them on a zombie game. 60 frames per second, 1400, 1440p or whatever. and 4K 30. Most definitely. I think they should show that. I think I wish they would have. Then I think they're going to come out if they're going to. I think they're in the process now. They're saying we played nice. They may announce some acquisition on the cover. What do they have to lose at this
At
point?
this point, they don't have to lose nothing. All cards on the table now.
Right. So I mean, why do they have to worry about it? They already see everybody against them.
Right, exactly.
And my thing is that I hope they would come out with their surprises and say we're investing $2 billion in our messaging, where everything you see. Oh, and I did see a RedFall commercial in the basketball games the other night.
No,
I
I've been
said,
seeing them on YouTube.
yeah, no, I'm not worried about YouTube. I don't care about marketing on YouTube. I'm
No, I'm
talking
just
about
saying
yeah,
I used to
yeah,
not see nothing.
yeah,
Now
yeah,
I'm starting to see them.
yeah. I'm talking about actual basketball game. I saw Redfall at halftime. I was like shocked. I almost fell out. I text you too for that. But
Yeah,
those those are
yeah.
the things that I'm hoping. I'm hoping they announce some additional small companies that they may have bought that are under $250 million that they don't have to announce or go through the FTC. But in the end, I do hope they have at least more unannounced games and make a commitment and tell the fans moving forward, we let you down. We know that we own it. Oh, and they're not going to do it, but I would hope and I would do it because hey, what do I have to lose? I would announce the next version of Halo under the new direction of those guys.
Hmm.
What do I have to lose? What do I have to lose?
Like I said, nothing. Nothing at all.
And that's my thing. But June 11th, we will be in the know. We'll be there watching, and it's going to be interesting. But my hope is that you learn. Microsoft has learned from their mistakes, and their mistake is that they've been too nice.
Been too nice.
That is the mistake. If they could take anything away from all the missteps they've made, is that Phil needs to hire me and say, "You run, you run, getting these people together, and about putting games out, and that should be the standard. You have too much technology that no one else has. Microsoft, and this is what everybody's doing. People don't understand. Microsoft has come out with so many things before everyone else,
Hmm.
and then they put it in the back seat, and then everybody take advantage of it.
Make their own
And that's
bootleg
right,
version.
and that's what Sony is doing. Sony is slowly trying to come into the cloud gaming market, and they're going to make. And I'm guarantee you, they're going to announce a deal within the next 2 to 3 years with Google. Google is fiending for them to make a deal with them in the cloud services.
They ain't gonna say nothing.
Mm-mm.
No more, Mr. Nice Guy.
So those are my thoughts. I hope it's a good one, but like I said, I don't blame. And just to recap, we'll see what goes on. But I know Forza's coming out. I know. I really would love to see a Vow because Obsidian is no joke when it comes to developing open, uh, RPGs. They are to me, they just as good as. And the other one I hope they show to me, and I told Jasimoto and Surge about this, is that they would do the updated Fallout 4, 4K, 60 locked, and that would be and they'll say, okay, guess what? We're releasing it now. That would be a shadow drop because you have to understand what have all these what have all these development studios, what are they doing? I mean, they should. I'm be honest with you. All the studios that they bought, and remember last year they said, well, all of them ready to go. But then this is put up a shut up. All them studios said they were
Right.
ready to go. Remember that room?
Yeah.
Then all them studios owe Phil an apology, and they're gonna say, Phil, all the studios should say, Phil, we let you down. That's what they should say, and they should have a big powwow and say, "Phil, you out there fighting for us, but we're not fighting for you. So you know
Y'all out
what?
here getting this free money.
Yep, that's all they get. $1 trillion company, $2 trillion, actually $2.2 trillion. Actually, they went down a billion or two since they raised the interest rates, but we'll see. But everyone, thanks for joining. We were getting ready to do our outros. We'll see how this goes, and we thank you guys for joining and being with us on a Thursday night because you have better things to do, and you chose your better thing to be with us. So
Mm.
we are truly appreciative of your time and your energy you dedicate to us. Again, please like and subscribe. Let's do our outros. And at the end of that, let's go. So, where can we find you, OG?
You can find me here with my fellow gamers on Thursday night. You can also catch us on Facebook at All Things Geeky. Yeah, OG double M.
Okay,
Yeah.
what about you, Jazzamoto?
You can find me here every Thursday with everybody. Where's my page? Where'd it go? There it is. 7 Central Standard Time, Thursday. Also catch me on Twitch. I'm playing a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Also art streams. I'm also on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook.
Okay.
Y'all.
Sir, where can we find you?
You can find me on Facebook at Sir Rich Gaming. You can find me on Twitter and Twitch under Sir Rich, as well as YouTube under Sir Rich. And I will be here every Thursday with the good folks, chatting it
Okay.
up.
Okay, Mega, where are you gonna be? And if you tell me you got a YouTube channel, I don't want to hear anything you got to say. But go ahead.
You know, it's funny you say that. I'm gonna get to that later.
Okay, good.
Okay. But the name's Megalixer, and you'll find me right here on the Gamers DMZ podcast every Thursday at 7 o'clock p.m. Central. And the one mentioned YouTube. Now, I actually have an update on that.
Oh wow! Please tell.
I am actually working on my first YouTube video.
Good.
And I'm typing, I have an outline of it for like the script.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, and
Well,
also Twitter and Twitch. Yeah, yada yada yada. Yeah.
okay. Thank you very much. You can find me here with the rest of the crew. You can find me on Xbox and PS5. I'll be posting my Chapter 6 video, uploading it tomorrow on YouTube. I'm gonna finish that game, and then hopefully OG, Jazz, and Sir Rich are online tomorrow night, so we can all play Redfall together. I know how double OG is, but we'll see.
You have to
Turn
put
me
it
on
on
the
hard
first
now.
settings because I know you fall asleep. So
No, I can be up late tomorrow. Like I got to get up at 2:45 tonight. I mean tomorrow morning. So Mike.
what?
I got to get up. At
You mean
2:45.
tonight?
Tomorrow.
2:45 tonight?
I mean 2:45 in the morning. Yeah.
Tonight?
Tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning.
Tonight? AM tonight?
Yes. So
The
that's
sun
why.
ain't up yet. That's still
Yeah,
night.
I don't know, but I'm up. I gotta get ready to go to the gym. We got people I'm meeting at the gym, so hey, I got to get up. So yes, that is very true. That's where you can find me. Again, thanks everybody, and you'll see us this week, and we'll be finishing games. And may the fourth be with you. So said,
May the fourth be with you.
and OG,
He got one out.
yeah, got it out. Serge,
He got it up.
he got it out. Serge, take us out of here.
All right, I'll holler at y'all. It's time for that. Holla at y'all. Who
Holla,
was it?
holla,
Holla, holla, holla,
holla.
holla, holla, holla. Holla,
Let me
holla.
holler, let me 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 holler, holla, 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 Let me holler at you.